guys! In today's video, I'm going to be doing a satisfying slime colouring video using some of my favourite techniques, and these are so colourful. I absolutely love them and I hope that you do too. My first goal was to make a gradient slime palette out of clear slime. My only real thing that I had in mind was to create different amounts of food dye on top of the clear slime, mix them in and then get the gradient effect because I was doing colours row by row. Didn't really turn out to plan. As you can see here, pretty much all of them turned into block colours. So I thought, no worries whatsoever, I will use these colours to create the base colours of my new gradient slime palette. But I didn't want to waste the other ones. I was super inspired by Blue Slime's rainbow pour on Instagram, so I decided to do one of my own. I lined the colours up in a rainbow colour and then I did a time lapse of them pouring. Then because they fell so beautifully, I decided that I was going to do a bubble press, and I actually used a grill rack for this. My friend Scented Slime by Amy recommended this, and this moulded the colours so beautifully. Clay balls will forever be one of the most satisfying things in slime for me, so I decided I wanted to do a clay ball cube stack, and this was really satisfying. Obviously I had them one by one, I didn't stick the layers together, so when I put my clear slime on top I found the balls started rolling off, but it was really fun to mix nonetheless, and absolutely none of them dried out. When I was mixing it in further, it did kind of look like it was going to turn purple, which I was really surprised at, but then the more I was mixing it in, it actually turned into a perfect chocolate brown. So I decided I was going to make this into kind of like a sundae. I was going to add loads of sprinkles and just make it fun. So I did that, and this is what I ended up with. Colouring jiggly slimes with water pigments definitely has to be my favourite thing to do at the moment. I find it so satisfying whenever pigment's used, but especially so when water is added on top. Like you can see, this creates a really gorgeous purple to green shift. In real life, this is completely green like you can see on my hand, but on camera it always ends up looking purple, so it actually looks like the blue one I did. So I decided to add more pigment and see what would happen the more I added, and this just turned so beautiful. This had so many different colours in it. I was finding the more pigment that was getting added in, the more yellow it looked. So I let it settle, and then it turned into the deep rich green that it really is, and it really reminded me of Harry Potter's house Slytherin. This slime was far too beautiful to just leave there, so I decided to top this off with gold leaf. This next one was inspired by a cake artist on Instagram, and I saw this really satisfying video where they get all this icing, they dye them different colours, and then they use different styles of piping bags to pipe them onto cling film, roll it together, and then get this really gorgeous array of colours. So I decided to do this with shaving foam so it would be safe for slime. And I used purple, blue, pink, orange, and yellow. And just like her, I decided to pipe it onto some cling film with different colours and different shapes. And like you can see here, this was so vibrant. They also kept their shape really well. And because this took me a while, I was really worried the shaving foam would deflate, but it didn't, and it also stayed really nicely in this roll. So I started off the roll, put some jelly slime down, and then started on my journey. If I were to do this again, I would definitely let the jelly slime just sit for a bit longer, because over time I just found that it expanded and my circle was getting further and further out, and the more I was doing this, the more frustrated I was getting. And also because it was kind of settling, like you can see there were loads of gaps, so I got frustrated at the end and ruined it, but it was still really fun and I loved the colours. Glitter is one of my favourite things to mix into slime, so I decided to be really extra and create a whole ladle full of glitter. And I spread this all over the slime, but I had so much on the ladle I decided to shake it, and it created this really gorgeous effect. As well as mixing pigments into jiggly slime, I absolutely adore brushing pigments across slime. And this is one of my favorite things because unlike jiggly slime, when you press down on the slime and you can see it turn to a completely different color, when it's kind of spread out like this, you can see a different color on the far left side, so it's blue there, and then on the far right side it's purple. But also, when you press down, the rest of the color stays the same, but the dented parts stay a different color. So it's such a cool contrast. When I was watching this footage back, I was like, there is way too much clear slime and literally no white slime. So after scouring Instagram for some inspiration, I decided to go for the fork stamp, which is the idea of putting a food dye on the back of a fork and then putting it into slime. I did it in such a messy way. I definitely shouldn't have added this much dye, but it was really fun and I mixed it in with the forks and it was also really pigmented at the end. Like you can see, I've added no more color than what I've added here and it turns into a really gorgeous swirl. This water pigment was actually meant to be the only one in this video, but a really weird thing happened. So I tried a different brand of pigment with this slime, and like you can see, it created a really weird effect on the top of the slime anyway. The pigment was stunning. But when I was mixing this in, I found that the slime melted, and it was really odd because usually, if anything, it becomes a bit more jiggly. So I added a bit more pigment and saw what happened there. And I also added some activator in with this, and this turned into pure liquid. I actually had to just wait overnight, and somehow it did turn into slime. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but this was such a satisfying color. Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a massive thank you for just being so lovely about how infrequently I'm uploading at the moment. I promise you I'm trying to get better. So I will speak to you very soon, and I hope that you enjoyed this video.